So remember that. All right, objectives, very quickly. Take a look at the objectives. Discuss some of the principles from the 5-Star Church, how they relate to the children's ministry. We want to identify ways to function as a 5-star ministry, right? And then we're going to practice 5-star customer service. I want to do a couple role plays. Anybody like role plays? Okay, good. And to communicate ways to build on existing strengths of leaders and members, okay? All right, so go to the slide that says TSHICC. What I wanted to make sure is that everybody is clear or has it in front of you, the information that pastor has put forth, right? Because every ministry aligns with the vision of the pastor. Everything that Minister Donna is putting forth, everything that Sister Chris has been talking about, in accordance with, the guidance from Minister Donna, is based on pastor, right? So put your paper down for a second. What's the tagline of the church?
Caring for people, equipping people for destiny, and
preparing for eternity.
What is it again?
Caring for people, equipping people for destiny, and preparing people for eternity.
Listen to what you are saying. Caring for people, equipping people for destiny, right? And preparing people for eternity. The work that you all are doing is starting there. It's gonna make a difference. You already know that. You know it's gonna. So now, the other thing, you're commissioned to help people achieve their destiny. That's what, and all of this comes out of that booklet that he gave us, right? Mentoring, caring for, and leading people to Christ in truth and sincerity, right?
Excuse me one second. Did everyone get this book? I just want to make sure, because
Because if not, I'll get some more.
sometimes they don't get everything in the classroom. So I just want to make sure that everyone has the book. If
I'll
you
ask
don't,
Minister Joyce.
Yeah.
And I'll get some more.
Yeah, it was.
Because this is
Because
our,
that was
this
last year.
right, and there was another one. This is probably the more recent one. So it has it's called Our Progressive Vision for
We might
Advancing God's
We
Kingdom.
might not have gotten that. I don't think we got that one. I'll get with Minister Joyce.
So that's important, right?
We have some here.
Right.
I think
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, we come into, yeah.
All right.
So you want to make sure that, you have this and everyone, because we want to make sure everybody's on the same page. Because it's easy, particularly sometimes you have new people coming in and they have great ideas, right? We want to do this and we want to do that, but does it align with what pastor's vision for this ministry? And as he entrusts the leadership and you all set the tone and the vision for it, right? You want to make sure, they're going to make sure it's aligned with pastor's vision. And so the other one, the mission of the church is to present a visible demonstration. What does that look like for you all? What does that look like? Of the love of Jesus Christ, first to one another, what does that look like? Visible demonstration.
how we treat one another.
and that's really good because it lines up with last week. I mean, the last
That
session.
last
Meaning that when we see each other, we need to learn to embrace each other in love. Hugs and nice greetings,
Positive
it's necessary,
accolades.
positive
Yes.
interactions with each other.
Yeah.
Because when you don't think they see, they see.
They see.
You are modeling for other people. So you're teaching whether it's in the classroom, whether it's at the desk, you're modeling for other people. They are watching what you do. They watch how you respond to conflict, the children, and they will mimic exactly what you do.
And facial.
Facial.
Is 100%.
Absolutely.
Now that's not 50. That's
Yes.
100%. They read facial expressions.
They do.
They do.
And they can tell from your body language, right? We know body language speaks louder than our words sometimes.
Mhm.
So if you're like this, and you're looking, some of the children are looking at you at different points. What's going on? Or maybe I won't ask them the question. You never know when some child wants to come and share something with you, or even a parent. And they come up and they have an attitude. Take a deep breath, pause, and respond, and just think. We never know what they are going through.
And sometimes you just have to let people blow it off
Yes.
and stand there and just let them blow it off.
Yeah.
You don't respond.
Yes.
You don't say anything, and at the end you say, "I heard you. I
Yes.
hear you." Okay, and leave it
That's
and
right.
walk
Right,
away.
because everything doesn't require a response.
But at that point, they're not hearing you, so it doesn't matter what you say.
It does.
You just take it. and-
That's right. You absolutely.
We have to learn and really do be approachable. That's the main thing, is being approachable.
Mhm.
Because if a child comes to you and it's how you greet them the first time that they'll remember.
That's
Mhm.
true.
If you are not approachable the first time, they won't come back again.
And that's true.
That's
They're very
true.
hesitant to come back again.
But
They really are.
and the parents are the same way. Like if they come in and they're huffed or, oh, this is, and you say, oh wow, have a good week. Because I've done that, have a good week. And the parent will be like, have a good week.
Mhm.
And they'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
It's like you have to put the fire out that's inside of them.
Yeah.
You don't know where it's coming from, but you gotta put it out.
And sometimes, as they're going to the door and they're rushing and you see them dragging the child or dragging the child in, you pause and walk and say, is everything okay? Quietly, not in front of the children, right? Just to do a check-in with people, because you just never know. Even that expression of concern can make a big difference. So let's look at the next one. The Shepherd's House is a purpose-driven church that meets individuals where they are. Underline that. That's key. Where they are. So in order to do that, it requires patience, right? Because think about where some people are. Think about some of the people
That's
you're
right.
dealing with, the parents, the children. Think about where they are coming into you, even if it's week by week, even if it's only one time. So it requires patience, it requires time, it requires a willingness to get to know people beyond what you just see, right? And it requires a heart to love in spite of. Okay? So Shepherd's House is a place of refuge and love built upon 3 core commitments. Someone read that?
To
Please.
extend upward, to touch inward, and to stretch outward.
5-star service, right? To be able to love people, to prepare them for their destiny. Look at the next slide, meeting people where they are. So, question for you. Whose name do you really want to be great? Whose name do you really want to be great? Right? At companies, some people get bonuses, people get recognition for what they do, but ultimately, it's the company's name and the brand that goes forward, right? So what can we do to make sure that the Shepherd's House name, right, has a positive reputation, that when people say Shepherd's House, wow, that's that place where love is extended. The children come out of there and they want to they want to bring their friends, because those teachers, and when you come to the desk, the parents, oh my gosh, they just extend love, right? That affects the brand of the church. And ultimately, and pastor's name is attached to that, right? So yes, we want God to be glorified. Ultimately, our service to the children and to the parents affects the church, okay? So, Kid Zone. We have our leader, again, pastor, who sets the vision, right? Go to the next slide. We must not just tickle ears and entertain as the means to an end. Our goal must be to give them what they need, but in a way they will receive it. And you all are doing that, right? Yes?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
So let's run through quickly these principles for 5-star children's ministry. So in the book, you know that there are 14 principles. So for those of you who have the book, if you haven't, there are 14 principles, but I'm not going through all. I just pulled out some of them that are relevant to the ministry. And so think about this, 5-star ministry. If you go to a restaurant, if I came up and I was like, you want some water? Look at her face. Right? Versus, good morning, Minister Donna. I got some water. Would you like some? Very different. Right? You go to a restaurant and, and they feed you. If you saw the previous slide, they bring you some bad pizza or bad food. Tell you a quick story. I went to a restaurant and we were sitting there and one of the young ladies said her bread you know, she said, it's not warm. And can you warm this up for me? And so